Hi, it's Tanya from My Forking Life, and today we're in the kitchen and we are making an easy, delicious, classic recipe, cherry pineapple dump cake. Now, if you've got some older cookbooks, you've probably run across this recipe. It is one that's been made for many generations. People make it for, a quick get together. They make it for church, potlucks, whatever. All right, I'm gonna show you how I make this delicious classic recipe. Start by preheating your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. You're gonna need a few ingredients. They do come from a can, and you know what? We do not hate on cans. I'm gonna use, I spilled my cake mix. Whatever. I'm gonna use some crushed pineapple, some cherry pie filling, some butter, a cake mix, and some chopped pecans, and that's it. All right, so first I'm gonna start by prepping a container. I'm gonna use a glass 13 by 9 container, and by prepping it, I'm just gonna grease it. So I'm gonna use the little bit of butter from my paper, and I'm just gonna slightly grease the pan just to make sure that the stuff does not stick. Who is on a motorcycle outside? Why, Mr. Motorcycle? That's enough. So for this recipe, I'm going to use 2 sticks of butter, half a pound of butter. This is cold butter, and I'm actually going to grate it for this recipe. Reason being is because we're going to actually add butter to the top of this cake mixture. And I find that grated butter just kind of spreads a little bit better than if I cut the butter into pieces. You want to make sure when you are grating your butter that it is cold. You could even freeze it if that's easier. Mine could have probably been a little bit colder because you could see it's already starting to melt a little bit. All right, so those are my big clunks, but there's my grated butter. All right, so I'm going to just set this to the side just for a second. So for this recipe, I'm using how big is this? 20 ounce can of crushed pineapple. We are not going to drain this. We want this cake juicy, but I'm just pouring that into the bottom of this large pan. And then I've got some prepared cherry filling. Just kind of plop that on there. Ooh, this looks so good already. I'm gonna spread that out just a little bit, make it even. This is so pretty. All right. And a box of yellow cake mix. Now, why yellow cake mix? I mean, this just makes it easy. Easy. You just wanna kind of sprinkle that all over. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Look at that cherry trying to peekaboo. Come back, butter. Okay, we're gonna take that grated butter and we're gonna just sprinkle it over and make sure that it is covering the entire top of this cake mix. Because what's gonna happen when we bake this is that butter is going to melt into the cake mixture. And it's gonna be beautiful. And last but not least, we are going to add some crunch. I've got here some chopped pecans, about a cup, and I'm gonna cover that over it. Now that my dessert has been assembled, I'm gonna bake this on the middle rack in that preheated oven on 325 degrees. We do not wanna bake it as a higher temp because we added chopped pecans. We don't want them to burn. We want them to just get nice and toasty. We're also gonna bake this for about 55 to 65 minutes until everything is set, bubbling, and delicious. See you in an hour. Alrighty, I think our cake is done. Oh, she's so golden and pretty. That looks good. and it's bubbly. We're gonna let this cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. Our dessert has cooled and it is ready to serve. So I'm gonna actually just take a nice corner chunk. Look. It's like a cobbler. That's what this is. It's a cobbler cake. Oh, and it just smells so good. And you didn't have to do that much. Now you can eat this as is, but I like to serve it a little bit warm and top it with some vanilla ice cream. Ooh, ice cream. Boom. Get on there. You can also use whipped cream, but you know, I got ice cream. That's what I'm gonna use. Oh, that looks so good. All right, time to taste test. This is one of those so simple, and I can tell you why it's a classic. It is so delicious, and the addition of those chopped pecans gives it a beautiful crunch. All right, guys, until the next time, bye.